So the history. Well, cholesterol has fascinated scientists since 1784 when it was first discovered from gallstones. A French dude called Michel Chevreul named it cholesterine from the Greek chole for bile and the stereos solid, so solid bile. Pub quiz knowledge for you there. People study cholesterol heavily from this point on. In fact, 13 Nobel Prizes have been given out for it, but it was only in the 20th century when scientists began to see a link between cholesterol and arteriosclerosis, or the blocking of blood vessels. They'd seen high cholesterol in the corpses of people who have plaques in their blood vessels. They saw it in rabbits that they fed pure cholesterol to, and they saw it in people who had genetic conditions causing them to have early heart attacks. In the 1950s, the connection was finally made by a scientist called John Goffman, who began to see the balance of LDL and HDL as well. A couple of other big studies happened, the 7 countries study and the Framingham Heart study. Both of these eventually proved beyond a doubt that high cholesterol leads to more heart attacks. Meanwhile, a bunch of other people were working on the cholesterol synthesis pathway, so how it is actually made. The Nobel Prize in 1964 was given to Konrad Bloch and Feodor Leinen for working this out, particularly one of the steps, the rate-limiting step of cholesterol production, which involves the reduction of a compound called HMG-CoA by an enzyme called HMG-CoA reductase. More on this in the next section. At that Nobel dinner, the S. Feinberg, the rector of Caroline Institute, made the following remarks. "Your discoveries may provide us with weapons against some of mankind's gravest maladies, above all in relation to cardiovascular diseases. Achievements like yours make it not unrealistic to look forward to a time when mankind will not only live under vastly improved conditions, but will itself be better." Nice stuff. Inspiration for your kids. Anyway, now people knew the pathway for how cholesterol was made, they knew what they could attack. So step in Japanese biochemist Akira Endo. Now he loved working with fungus, from which we derive a lot of antibiotics, and he thought he might be able to hit the HMG-CoA pathway, and indeed in 1972 discovered a compound called compactin, which was found inside some bluey-green penicillin-type fungus mold. Now compactin had a really similar structure to HMG-CoA, which means if you throw it at the same rate-limiting enzyme, HMG-CoA reductase, compactin competes with HMG-CoA to fit inside it, like having 2 sets of keys that fit the same lock. And if you have loads of this key, it makes it harder for this key to get in. That's what we call competitive inhibition. Now, this was a huge success, and seeing this, lots of other drug companies jumped on the train. From compactin and a similar compound called lovastatin, it began to derive lots of other statins, and there you have it.